right, this is the Phantom coming at you a day removed from the game. So, wanted to give kind of my thoughts on everything. My thoughts on, let's just say, the state of this state, right? What do I actually think about where we're at? Let's start at the top. So what do I think where Luka's at? I think Luka's great. I think he's in the shape he needs to be to win a lot of games, to play at his top line, top performance. I will say the one thing I am slightly concerned about with Luka is I'm just hoping that minor issue with his, I believe it was either his hip or his groin, that is actually okay, that he's not really injured, maybe it's just a little sore, and he's going to be able to do well. So right now I'm really kind of crossing my fingers and just trying to ensure that we just hear nothing but good news about Luka. Because if we've lost Luka, even for a small amount of time, that's not a good promising news, right? Second thing, so Austin, the last game, right, the dress rehearsal game, didn't do as good. This first game, struggled to take off, had foul trouble, really from deep, struggling to hit the threes. What I'm going to say with Austin is, let's be patient. We just got to be patient because it was the first game. The one thing I want to say too is I'm not going to overreact over the first game. The fact is a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can take place. I'm just not ready to pull the plug on me believing that this season is still not going to be good. Now, with that being said, I'm going to kind of put this in the best way I can in regards to what I think about LeBron and what, my thoughts are on like LeBron and the Lakers and kind of the state of the state. So LeBron, to me, it's like, could we have used LeBron? Yeah, we could have. For all those people, though, that are saying, man, see, this is why you still need LeBron, because, man, we really need LeBron. For all those people who are saying that, of course, LeBron is the second best player on the team. You need your guy to make an impact. But even without your second best player or your first best player, right, in Luka, you can tell the type of roster you have. The roster we have, I don't think is complete. I don't think it's a championship roster. I think it's a roster that is going to need to overperform and is going to need to do a lot of things in order to stay in the place that it wants to be, right? That's just the reality. I didn't make this. It is what it is. And for those of you who are like, well, see, without LeBron, nothing can be done. I'm going to be honest with you guys. LeBron is using up like $50 million. If we had $50 million put towards a number of other players that are probably better players, not saying they're better than LeBron, I'm just saying like better players, rotation players, the team would also be a better team, right? So it goes both ways. And again, this isn't shade at anybody. Like, if LeBron can play, I want LeBron to play. I want him to be able to be there. But the fact is, just like anything else, because LeBron is older, these type of issues, like injuries with like his sciatica, injuries that take a toll on your body once you're 40 plus years old, they're more common when you're older. And that's the reality. That's not something that I want to happen. It's just, it is what it is. So for me, I think what we really got to do is we got to work on building up our chemistry and work on figuring out what it's going to take to be I'm not expecting excellent defense, but I'm expecting capable defense. And so to me, what that means is JJ's got to look at the rotation and he's got to adjust. He's got to do some adjustments. And one adjustment that he can do is replacing Gabe with somebody else. Because I think where Gabe actually may shine is in offering the ability to spark some points off the bench, but when he's on the bench, right? And I think the two players you're going to look at first are Marcus Smart and Gabe Vincent. I think if you have Marcus Smart or Gabe Vincent, that's going to raise your defense. Ideally, you would like to have that last preseason game version of Marcus Smart being that third guy, because he's going to raise your defensive intensity, but he's also going to bring some capable offense. So that's the ideal move that you want to do. The next thing that you want to consider is understanding your player's strong points. You know who really impressed me when I was looking back through the game? For his short moments, short spurts, Jake LaRavia. Jake LaRavia defensively was doing well, and he had some pretty good offensive moments as well. You know who slightly underwhelmed me? Rui Hachimura. Like, I watched him, and I was like, sometimes he was just playing what I like to call uninspired basketball. Uninspired, like he wasn't motivated to do what he needed to do to win. Now, I'm not going to get carried away, because I also do understand that what the Warriors had is something that the Lakers didn't have. And this is the advantage that the Warriors do have. They have a system that they've been running for a very long time. And they have worked hard to have extreme cohesion with one another. Outside of Jimmy Butler, Kuminga's been there for years. Steph has been there, obviously, since the beginning. Draymond Green has been there. So they have a unit that's at least been there for a few years. Adding a person like Al Horford and a person like Jimmy Butler adds to everything. But at the same time, it doesn't take away what the Golden State Warriors have already put in place. And because they already have a system, and because they've already built out cohesion and chemistry over years, they're going to have an advantage. They're just going to have an advantage, and that's something that we got to consider. So, am I going to take this game, one game, and I'm going to say, man, everything is bad? I'm actually going to take some positives out of it, because we were down, we lost by not a crazy amount. We didn't get blown off the floor. At times it looked like it would get there, but our team was still fighting. And so I think if we can clean up turnovers, we can build more chemistry, and we can ultimately work on becoming a more capable defense by adjusting the rotation, adjusting how we're going to put our roster and put them in a place where they're going to win. I think we're going to be okay. Again, do I think we're just an all-world team? No. I honestly think that, Pelinka's got to look at some options before the trade deadline this year and consider, hey, is there one or two pieces that could ultimately be that difference? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. Luka can do a lot with not a whole lot. He can do a lot with not a whole lot. And so if you just give him capable, he doesn't need perfect, he needs capable. He can take you far. And we just got to understand that. And I think once we get LeBron back, that's going to have like a whole nother impact. And that's going to add a whole nother variable that I think works in our favor. And why do I say think before I say anything else? Because I still believe that we've got to learn how to stand on our own 2 feet without LeBron, because we don't really know. He, like it's been said, he's going to be reevaluated. But if his sciatica is still working hard, we don't know how long we're going to have with him on the floor. We don't know how much time he's actually going to be on the floor. Where we really want LeBron to be at his peak is in the playoffs. And so during the regular season, we're going to have to figure out how to win games and build a good enough roster to win enough games to give us a shot in the playoffs, to put LeBron and Luka together and see what can happen. And that's kind of my state of the state. These are my initial thoughts. So do I believe that we're missing LeBron? Yes. But do I also believe that, the amount of money LeBron is making, that $50 million, if it was put to good players, like let's say LeBron wasn't an option anymore, right? And it was put to other good players, I also think we could build a better roster, right? So 2 things can be true at once. Obviously, Luka's our number one. And we got to understand that. That guy is putting on a show. That guy's putting a lot of people on their back, on his back to carry them. But he also can't just carry every single time. Like, the guy wasn't just carrying the offense. That's the other thing. He was also doing his part in defense, and which was awesome to see. But it was also kind of like, man, he is putting on the offense. He is defending. And it's like nobody came to play. And I do say nobody because even Austin didn't come to play until like the end, where he started just scoring. It's like, Austin, I need you to be aggressive from the beginning, not just from the end. Rui, I need you to be aggressive, bro. I need you guys to be aggressive. And I also understand chemistry is going to take time to build. So again, not all hope's lost. I still think we got a lot to work on. But these are just my thoughts on the state of the state and what I think we got to look forward to. I'm excited to see how they do against the Wolves. Like I said, my big concern is Luka, and if he, suffered a groin injury or had a slight hip, just hip situation. I just want to make sure that everything's good there. So I'm just waiting to hear on that. Hopefully everything is okay. And it was just a minor discomfort that he was experiencing at the end of game 1. All right, guys, with that being said, Phantom out.